Hello everyone, this is your Squirrel, the Mad Salvi, coming back to you with a damning report right now. This is some serious stuff. This is a Nijisanji Ally, someone who has been on Kyokaneko streams and other streams of Nijisanji livers, who is showing her very subjective side, which is, allowed, and it is something that should be respected. Once again, I want to mention, do not send any hate to them. Do not try to harass them. Do not try to do anything like that, because that will just continue whatever victimhood they want to claim, because they probably have been harassed already. So they're going to claim victimhood. They're going to claim that we're all bad and all that kind of stuff. All anyone wants is the happiness of everyone involved. Just no bad times. At least that's what I want. So let's move on. This is Daph. As you can see here, 39 Daph is her moniker, I believe, on Twitch, etc. And that's where she normally streams. And this is a very damning thing that she just had. It's a log of the things that were said in her chat, and specifically the things that were said about Doki and the things that she specifically said. So there are probably tons of other chats going on, but this is what she specifically said. She starts with shrug. I think she screwed down the line though. It'll come out in time. Anyways, but it's also stronger to drop it as a whole. They're hesitant because it contains private info. They definitely should ANA, but I think they're just taking their time. They can show it regardless case goes through or not. I hope they do show it. Now, I'm going to be talking in the middle of this because right now they can't show it. These are supposed to be private. These are supposed to be legal documents in between each side. And these legal documents, we don't know what's in it. The only people that know what's in it is dokibird and the legal counsel, and now the fact that they've sent it to Lyra Pandora and them. Now there are more people who know, but it was just supposed to be legal counsel and en and dokibird, according to what dokibird has said. Of course, we can only go by what people have said so far. That's the thing. I don't know, but if it goes to court, it'll be public in Canada, if I remember correctly. Only if it becomes a matter of public record. I believe as long as it's in the courts, unless the court itself allows it to be spread out, there can be kind of like a gag order, kind of a hold order on those type of things, so no one can speak of anything outside of the court. If it's the same thing as it is in the US, that tends to happen. They said so themselves. There's info there that doxes them. Again, we're only going by what Lyra and them said. We do not know if anything doxes them in there. According to dokibird, nothing doxes them. You make your decision on whether you think something doxes them or not. I do not believe personally they do, because there's no proof that it does. I don't need to, I guess. Wait, if I had to guess journalism in a nutshell, if there was a genuine drama VTuber, he'd be asking the same questions I'm asking. That's not how legal case works. I don't know, I'm really riled up that you can basically slander a group of people. I don't give a fuck about corpa without proof that you had to gather for your case and just say you want to move on. She didn't slander anybody. She didn't name anybody. All she did was name Nijisanji Ally as a toxic work environment. That's all she did. The ones who named themselves were Nijisanji Ally. The ones who ratted themselves out was Nijisanji Ally, because if you remember, in the termination notice, they said that there was livers doing the harassment. So they ratted themselves out. Literally decipherable from the video and tweets alone. Dude, it's but drowned out by an angry mob. A few people maybe. No one sees it yet. It's going to be bad for her. And how justified the mob begins, which isn't, of course, neither dokibird or anyone else involved, including myself or anything like that. Any drama tubers is mentioning that you should mob people, mentioning that you should be angry at people, mentioning that you should be, doing negative things to people. She wanted to be done with this, but then Nijisanji brought out the attack dogs in Lyra and Vox and such, and made it so that it was a public thing all over again. And how justified the mobbing is, which it isn't. It doesn't make what she felt any less valid, but it raises concerns of who and how the harassment was, which leads me to coming to the conclusion the harassment she got was debatable. This person is the Nijisanji Ally, so of course they're going to believe this type of stuff, because the proof was flimsy, which is why she doesn't want to show proof despite the mobbing, and felt strongly enough about it that to go live refuting it. They found the accusations effing insane. That means, so there's only one reason then. They volunteered. It's an emotional response, shrug, but they're going to get witch hunted. She named those 3, but there's more. We only assume that she named those 3 because of the fact that those 3 mentioned it. We don't know if they're lying. We don't know if they're telling the truth. The only people who should have known any of this was dokibird and Niji En. That's it. No one else should have known about this. No one else should have been airing out their dirty laundry. But what if it's not dirty laundry? So it makes sense they'd want to come out and defend themselves. Unfortunately, no one has any thinking. She's publicly slandered and caused a witch hunt. She herself didn't cause a witch hunt because Nijisanji was the one who said that there were livers out there who harassed her. She just said that it was a toxic environment and she had to go, and then she attempted on her life. That's all she said, from what I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, down in the comments, of course. Cougar, because they disagree, which would completely backfire on her. Like, they may or may not be able to show it. Whether or not they have to keep their alleged harassment docs private is up in the air. No, they have to keep it private. It is lawyer to lawyer stuff. It's supposed to be kept private because it has a lot of private information. They can't just go and put it out everywhere. Like Nijisanji said that they could do it and, you know, no one could say anything pretty much. Like, they found they did nothing wrong with what they did. The spicy part is exactly lettuce. I'm thinking just react angrily to the big corpora. Mob mentality is, but no one gets it. This is a legal matter law, so they be notified, showed exactly what they're being sued for. The meaning individual members, she wanted to sue them without them finding out exactly what she was suing for. Not really a legal point to argue. A red herring is what she's saying. Harassment, basically, she's saying that she led the harassment charge, which she hasn't. There's absolutely no reason they would share her medical, but according to what she found out with her lawyer, they did share her medical information because they shared the actual document. And in the document, she says that there was medical information. So I'm going to trust her on this one, that there was medical information on there. The medical information she mentioned, which was her diagnosis and such, which is illegal to share to anybody. And Nijisanji said they shared it within the corp. And in fact, those three that made the video said that they saw the document, so they saw everything. There's absolutely no reason they would share the medical. Here's your papers. The next person, here's your papers. Like, basically showing the papers to everybody that was supposedly, you know, being supposedly served or whatever. They had just told the people that, hey, you're being sued. This is why. No, the company didn't leak anything. If you're suing a specific person under the company, they can be shown the relevant documents and it must be notified. They're legally allowed to. If she was suing individuals, she would have actually sent them a legal notice herself. It is not the company's responsibility. The company should not be the one saying, hey, you're being sued. If she was actually suing livers and not the company itself, she would have sent legal notices to each and every one of them. She didn't because she was suing the large corporation itself for being responsible for not taking care of her. That's what she was doing. But yeah, basically to throw yourself into the fire. It's also very infuriating watching people ignore the glaring holes in the story. I don't see any holes just yet. Again, this is a Nijisanji ally, so she's seeing it through her own tinted lenses, which is fine and dandy for anybody. Yeah, like I'm saying, anybody can believe the way that they want to believe. The tweets imply there's more than 3. I assume it's a bunch of Niji streamers and can actually be countersued. Like, supposedly she can actually be countersued. She effectively slandered dozens of people with no proof of public. She didn't slander anybody, actually. She just said that it was Nijisanji. I'm going to repeat this as many times as I need to say it. She didn't slander anybody. She said it was Nijisanji En that she was doing this to. She said that Nijisanji En failed to protect her, failed to prevent a toxic work environment. She didn't name any livers. In fact, it was Nijisanji En themselves that named that there were livers involved. So no one knew about livers until Nijisanji themselves said it. I guess any kind of pushback is bad. Well, yeah, she would get a lot of support, but which is really dumb. Again, I don't think she thought those individuals would be sent their respective docs because they weren't named in the actual lawsuit. Nijisanji was named. Their names were possibly put in there as examples of witnesses for things. We don't know everything. Again, this is my supposition. We don't know everything because only Nijisanji and dokibird are supposed to be able to see those docs. Hence why I think she's going to drop it, because she's easily refutable. Refutable is what she meant to say. Refutable. About the contents, which say a lot, but the individuals being accused have, and they disagree. The public hasn't seen it. I think she's going to drop a case. And the people, those 3 specifically in that video, disagree with the contents of the doc, meaning they do not believe that they're harassed her. So Nijisanji sent those prospective docs to each streamer she accused, which she didn't expect. Basically, dokibird is suing Nijisanji individuals with Nijisanji for harassment and documents containing proof of harassment for each person she accused. And then it's like she's saying that she's going to get mobbed, 39 daph. Pointing out the inconsistencies. None of this makes sense from a legal perspective. No one's asking right questions. Yet conveniently she refuses to show proof because it's a legal document that should only be between her and the company. That's why she doesn't show quote-unquote proof. That's why she doesn't show any of this quote-unquote proof. You know, it's ironic she said that she wanted to move on, but ongoing court issue involving dozens of people who will refute said harassment happened because the reputation is on the line. Again, there's not dozens of people named in it, at least. They're going to be mobbed forever. Like, dude, those are streamers who just happen to work for the company. Who gives a fuck about the company? Like I said, don't harass the streamers. like say your dues about the company, because the company's a black company at this point, but don't harass the streamers because that's just not right. No one seems to be pointed out either, because anyone who mentions it gets called a bootlicker. I've never been called a bootlicker for saying don't harass people. I had never have, so I can't say that anyone does. It has a very debatable definition of harassment, basically someone lying, and now Niji has proof of what she claimed was harassment, which assumed she didn't know would be shared because she didn't think about the individuals we've notified that she needs to make each person unique doc document to set harassment. If she was actually sending it, yes, she would have to make it a unique doc. She didn't actually say that these people were the ones harassing me, I don't think, which is why they weren't supposed to see it. But regardless, it's not adding up for her, even mentioning that, because why the F would they be willingly admit that they bullied her? It means they disagree with the legal documents claiming harassment. They're just trying to protect their butts, that's my opinion. They show said proof, it's law that's over. He said, she said, but one side is burden of proof. A big corporation failing, sure, who cares? But the livers within them who will have people mobbing them after them forever. Don't mob, don't hate. I'm not a bootlegger, but don't mob, don't hate. That's what I'm saying. Sorry, but I don't buy it. It means the documents claiming harassment to the individuals are debatably flimsy. It's a serious legal matter. They cannot be coerced or lie. It's insane cope to think that they were forced by Niji, just attributed to incompetence. There's no one reason. Why did they say no? Why would they volunteer? Because it was kind of a loyalty pledge the way I see it. That's why they volunteered. Because they felt that this was going to be something to protect the company, something to take the heat off of the company. That is my opinion again. To assume they did it because Niji incompetence is nonsensical. It's legal stuff. They're not forced to do anything, nor can they lie. It's a serious legal matter. No, because they're refuting what she said served them. Not one way is more sus. Basically, she's defending more and more and more. So I'm really suspicious, and the mob mentality makes it worse, so much worse. So much not adding up to her side. And then conveniently, with all said proof, citing privacy, saying legal reasons makes no sense. She never put out the proof to public. She never pulled it back. She was just saying that Nijisanji showed things that they shouldn't, from what I recall. Also, you cannot accuse dozens of people of harassing you without proof of their livelihood is directly affected. If she accused anybody, I'm pretty sure she has the proof, because legally she has to. I'm just saying that. Because I generally also don't understand how you can file a court case and say you want to move on as if it's not ongoing. I'm sorry, Greta, it's not how legal matters work. You don't get to decide on a whim when or you want to be convenient. As far as we know, as far as I've seen, there is no court case going on. As far as legal records, as far as I can tell, there are no court cases going on. So this is a supposition on her part. There are no court cases as far as I know. It was just a legal document that was sent from Doki to them, leading her, telling them the reasons why she could possibly go into legal documents. Basically saying, fix this, or maybe there will be a case, from my understanding. And she seems to not understand that, so I have to assume these people disagreed with what they considered harassment, which she's worried over. I don't think so. I think that's basically, she doesn't care what they're saying. She doesn't care about those things other than the slander that they're saying about her, how, she was troublesome and all that kind of stuff. She cares about slander, and she's going to affect that herself. She said that herself. What she cares about is the fact that people who were not involved, who should never have seen it, because only legal should have seen it, saw those documents. That's what she's worried over. From Niji's tweet, you can infer these people had all specific documents individually sent to them, which again, could have been illegal because of private stuff. You would either have redacted documents, maybe if it was redacted documents, it'd be different. You can have either redacted documents, or you can have have her send one to each one. But it was just supposed to be Nijisanji, and it was just for Nijisanji's eyes. Why did they share it to others, is my thing. If you specifically named individuals that bullied and harassed you within a company, they will be sent docs. According to what she said, she didn't name anybody. She just said it was a toxic environment, from what she says. And I'm just going to believe what, you believe what you want. But from what I saw, from what is publicly known, she only mentioned the harassment that she was receiving, and for Nijisanji to investigate it, hopefully. But they weren't put in like a legal court case or anything like that, from my understanding. If you specifically named individuals that bullied and harassed you within a company, they can be sent docs relevant to them. Don't know, but it makes no sense why she thought it would be private. I don't know, just don't buy it, to be honest. Her tweet, she has proof of harassment that people refuted. Why does she not show it? So strange. I'm reading the dokibird thing, and so it's Jesus. So that's where it ends. And like I said, she is somebody that is a Nijisanji ally, someone who has been on various Nijisanji streams, someone who has been on various Nijisanji places. It is something that I don't agree with. It is something that I'm just running through it so you guys can take a look at it from the top. As I'm talking, you guys can take a look at it or take a picture of it or whatever you want. I just mentioning this, there's a lot of inconsistencies of what she's saying. There's a lot of inconsistencies of what she was mentioning. I don't, she doesn't have the data She just has what Nijisanji is telling her. And she's deciding to already be on one side of Nijisanji believing. And of course, there are a lot of other people who are on the side of dokibird. Every person has chosen a side at this point. What I want, yes, you can always choose your side. You can always do things as you want when it comes to that stuff. But of course, I don't want you to, in any way, shape, or form, harass her. In any way, shape, or form, harass any livers involved in this. Leave them be. You can say whatever you want about Nijisanji. I'm not saying shut your mouth. I'm not saying anything of that sort. I'm saying just leave the harassment alone. Leave the bullying alone, because it leads to victim complexes. It leads to them swearing victimhood, swearing that things are going to be, this or that way. And that, look at all these bad people saying all these horrible things to me. It's just, don't do that. It can make you just as bad as them, and it can make you an enemy to a lot of people. And it's just not worth it. It's just too much energy to take. I'm just letting you guys know this. I do appreciate you. Comment down below, of course. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're thinking on this whole matter. I want to hear you guys talk, and you guys speak, and you guys use your own voices. Thank you so much. Look down in my description for all of my socials, and also look on your screen because there's another video that I would love for you to watch. Thank you so much. This is Matt Salvi. Have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, whichever one it is in your area. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.